You're doing well.
Yes.
Yeah, great weekend. The e-levy is still in the news. I don't know about you, but during the weekend, anybody you saw would ask you about the e-levy. So is it really going to happen? How is it like?
We don't know whether it's going to happen.
Yeah,
Parliament has not approved the budget yet, and
we
so
expect them to
once
deliberate on it.
once Parliament approves it, then it will happen. But talking about the e-levy and talking about taxes, Fiore Champon was on Newsfile on Saturday, and he was talking about accounting for the taxes.
In the 2021 budget, when the finance minister came to the House a year ago, he gave a number of tax things that they were going to collect: sanitation levy, COVID levy, etc., etc. As we speak currently, in this 2022 budget, there is no mention, I don't see it, I could be corrected, of how much have been collected in or from those levies, number one, and number two, what those monies have been used for. But at the same time, there are a raft of new, tax instruments that are being proposed in this 22 budget. So I see a bit of a disconnect where it looks as though we want to implement more revenue-raising measures, fine, but I don't see any accountability in terms of some of the past initiatives that have been announced and to what extent or how effective they have been.
Right, so that's Fiore Champong asking for accountability. But
Yeah.
but I've actually seen in the budget the COVID-19 levy, the 1%.
Okay.
We projected 889 million Ghana cedis. We've raised about 400 million Ghana cedis as at the end of the third quarter. So just that by way of information, it's in there.
But how about the other tax measures? I think that's the point that
Exactly. So,
Dr. Fiore Champon.
we'll find out more. But also coming up this morning, we're beginning a conversation on Ghana's energy sector. Over the past few weeks, many of us have complained about, interruptions in our power supply. I always have low voltage around my area, and I've been sleeping in paradise. When I say paradise, it means I'm sleeping in darkness for some time now. I mean, whenever I'm getting home, I look at my area and I see the whole place is dark.
Wow.
And I know that where the lights are off. But also of importance is the debt levels within the energy sector. So how do we ensure that Ghana has the energy sector that can contribute to our national development devoid of debt? We're being made to pay energy sector recovery levy of 20 pesos, something on fuel.
Yeah.
So if there are no debts, these things would not be there. But how do we ensure there are no debts? It's a conversation we're having this morning here on the Super Morning Show. Now time for the Joy Business Report with Darryl Kwao and the team.
And coming up this morning, government advised to fully implement policies in next year's budget targeted at bringing down country's debt as our debt hits a little above 341 billion cedis as of September this year. Also coming up, cedi could be heading for record performance if the present rate of depreciation remains despite recent pressures, particularly from upcoming Christmas festivity. Meantime, cedi's depreciation and forex supply issues force market leader Guel to hike fuel prices at the pumps, a move that will push over 100 firms to also quickly increase prices. Plus, Energy Ministry to engage PRC on ideal tariff structure to rationalize cost of utilities. My name is Darryl Kwao. Thanks for being with us this Monday morning. Government has been advised to fully implement policies in next year's budget targeted at bringing down the country's debt. According to head of advisory at accounting and auditing firm Deloitte Ghana, Ealate, that's the way to go. Government intends taking advantage of the exceptional financing from the International Monetary Fund as well as diversifying our debt portfolio to help manage high debt. Mr. Lati tells Joy Business government must be disciplined to effectively manage the worrying debt levels.
The policies that government puts in the budget, some of which are commendable. One is the fact that government intends to take advantage of exceptional financing offered by the IMF. That is a commendable thing, and I think we've always mentioned, even when there was this policy of debt suspension initiative, we advise government to take advantage of that. So government taking advantage of the exceptional financing offered by the IMF is laudable. And then secondly, government plans to increase the debt financing capacity of the domestic market so that it can embark on some syndications. going forward. That's also a laudable policy. And then government intends to diversify its debt portfolio. We have advised government in the past that they should focus on diversifying debt portfolio in the same way as we intend to diversify our revenue sources. We should also diversify our debt portfolio. So these are commendable policies.
Ghana's public debt stock hit 341.8 billion cedis as of the end of September this year. That's according to the November 2021 Bank of Ghana summary of economic and financial data. This is equivalent to 77% of the total value of goods and services within the economy. Now, 5.9 billion cedis of the fresh loans added were from increased domestic loans and the depreciation of the cedi. Well, speak of the cedi, despite the recent pressures on the local currency, more especially the expected surge in economic activities during the Christmas festivities, the local currency is expected to fare well, if not better than last year's performance. According to the Bank of Ghana, the cedi has depreciated by 2.6% in almost 11 months of this year. If this rate of depreciation is maintained for the rest of the year, then it may be heading for a record performance in the nation's history. Here's Courage Mate, Senior Economic Analyst at Databank Research.
So far, it's been good for gold price because it's actually been recording gains in the 3 consecutive days of trading for the year so far. And so generally, the picture looks good for the local currency because the central bank has signaled continued firm support for the local currency, with commodity markets also remaining supportive.
That was Senior Economic Analyst at Databank Research, Courage Mate. Let's take a look at what's happening on the currency market this morning. The dollar going for 6 cedis 26 pesos. The British pound is selling at 8 cedis 44 pesos. The euro going for 7 cedis 8 pesos. Now, the country's total earnings from exports continue to hit exciting levels. Data from the Bank of Ghana indicates that it reached $12.2 billion in October this year, $200 million more than what the nation got during the same period last year. Oil and cocoa exports brought in more than what was obtained last year. Now, this could boost Bank of Ghana's reserves, a move that could help stabilize the cedi. Meanwhile, the country recorded a trade surplus of a little above $1.03 billion in the first 10 months of this year. Now, the recent sharp depreciation of the cedi and dollar supply issues are putting a lot of pressure on oil market leader Guel. The firm over the weekend took the lead by hiking fuel prices at the pumps. But why has this development got a lot of industry watchers worried? Here's George Rafe with answers.
Guel was one of the first to hike fuel prices at the pumps over the weekend. It was selling a litre of diesel and petrol at 6 Ghana cedis 99 pesos. Guel until recently was the last, that is, if it was going to review prices at the pumps. The firm uses market dominance to check other major players to hold prices when it should have even gone up or delayed adjustment. However, over the past 3 reviews, Guel had not even delayed as it increased prices in line with other top oil firms like Total and Shell. Even if you look at the numbers now, it may be having one of the highest prices for one of the petroleum products. Oil businesses learned that one of the issues that is putting some pressure on Guel has more to do with it not getting the required dollars to finance its bulk purchase of petroleum products. Being a market leader, any challenge with Guel might not be good for the industry because of this impact. However, looking at the fact that the Organization of Oil-Producing Countries are not willing to hike production to drive down global prices, and the recent pressure on the Ghana cedi may be not ending anytime soon, well, consumers should brace themselves for more hikes in prices of petroleum products at the pumps in the coming weeks.
And here's how we are beginning the week on the commodity market. Crude oil trading at $80, below $80, actually selling at $78.63 a barrel. Gold lost $2.60 to trade at $1,845.94 an ounce. Cocoa also lost $6 to trade at $2,583 a ton. Now, the Energy Ministry has committed to stabilizing power tariffs. To this end, it has hinted of plans to engage the Public Utilities Regulatory Commission on the establishment of an ideal tariff structure. Sector Minister Dr. Matthew Poku-Prempeh spoke at the 5th Ghana Energy Awards ceremony organized in Okwa.
There's a pilot going on in Kumasi where we have smart street lighting, where we can monitor the street lights, and it's solar as well. from Accra to see which one is going off and which one is coming. Hopefully, we will have smart street lights ongoing, and every street light will be changed. The era when people change street lights to face their compound in their various homes, I hope will be a thing of the past.
The 5th Ghana Energy Awards honored former presidents John Agyekum Kufuor and the late Jerry John Rawlings with Lifetime Achievement Awards. Some more stories from the energy sector. The Supreme Court has dismissed an application by Italian oil firm Eni and Vitol to appeal an earlier ruling by the lower court on payment of 30% of revenue from the Sankofa oil field into an escrow account. A high court earlier this year ruled that 30% of oil proceeds from the Sankofa field's production be put in an escrow account. That was pending final determination of an application brought by Springfield following the failure by Eni and Vitol to comply with government's directive to work towards unitizing their Afena and Sankofa oil fields. In other news, average lending rates continue to remain in the 20% bracket per annum for almost the whole of this year, according to the Bank of Ghana. It stood at 20.34% in October this year, the second lowest this year. Cost of borrowing has remained slightly lower than what was recorded last year. It stood at a little above 21% for the entire 2020, but far lower than the about 29% registered some 5 years ago. Meanwhile, the stability of the local currency as well as pricing of goods and services appear to have dominated the 103rd meeting of the Monetary Policy Committee of the Bank of Ghana. This is because there have been recent pressures on the local currency as well as inflation. The committee is thus expected to announce developments in the economy and, more importantly, take a decision on the policy rate, the rate at which commercial banks borrow from the central bank, later today. Now, the Chartered Institute of Bankers has alluded the ethical practices in the banking sector have improved considerably since the launch of the Ghana Banking Code of Ethics recently. According to its president, Right Reverend Patricia Sapo, professionals more than ever before have adhered to set standards in the industry following cleanup of the sector, which led to the prosecution of some complicit bankers. She spoke at the 12th induction and graduation ceremony organized by the institute.
The banks are doing very well. If you look at over the period, majority of bank employees have been very honest. They've demonstrated a lot of integrity, and that is why there's so much confidence in the banking sector. So I think that to a very large extent, the banking sector has done extremely very well.
President of the Chartered Institute of Bankers, Right Reverend Patricia Sapo there. Now let's turn to the stock market for the latest. Here's Ifwa Mensah of Data Bank Research.
Based on the market dynamics at the close of trading last week, we focused Enterprise Group Limited and GWEL to make some gains this week. MTN, on the other hand, should continue to shed some pesos on the prevailing selling pressure in the market. For Joy Business Report, Ifwa Mensah of Data Bank Research.
And that's our bulletin this morning. Thanks for listening. More news on our website, myjoyonline.com/business. My name is Darryl Kwao. Kojo Yankson is in the seat with the Super Morning Show, and I need you to listen to this, Kojo. Just listen to this.
We didn't learn. We didn't learn. Of course, we were just playing game. Our boys, they were just playing game. They were just playing game because we know that it's not that we are going to win. We've already won. Yes. So we are already the champions. Relax for St. Augustine College. Okay.
Have you forgotten that I'm the one holding the thing? I can switch it off.
You didn't learn. You are just playing games because you thought you were going to win.
Sometimes, you have to give others a chance. We gave you a chance.
Hala, could you? Another time.